Alrighty, and then for the intuition segment, we have our INFJs. Uh, Last but not least, right? INFJs, what do they lead with? Introverted intuition. What is their second function? Extroverted feeling. The third function, introverted thinking, and the fourth function is extroverted sensing. So what does that mean? Well, let's split them in half, right? The mind for a second. On one side, you have introverted intuition and introverted thinking. And on the other side, you have extroverted feeling and extroverted sensing. So here's how these two work together. On this side, we have introverted intuition and introverted thinking. That means they're all about taking in the things in their reality, the world that they're seeing, and organizing them and making sense out of them logically. One thing about INFJs is when they're focused, when they're working on a job or a task or a project, they're locked in. They can go through a loop where they can be in tunnel vision mode, solving this, solving that. So they have that element to them that's very introverted. They like to figure things out. They have a very intuitive way of observing things, of analyzing things, of coming to conclusions that are very effective. It comes through the things that they've seen, which is the right side we'll talk about now. Extroverted sensing and extroverted feeling. This is actually, of all the introverted types, they can appear extroverted a lot at times, INFJs. And by the way, INFJs are extremely rare. They're one of the two rarest types that exist, okay? Literally under like 2-3% of the whole population have this type. Maybe even under 1% or 2%. They're very, very rare, okay? Anybody leading with introverted intuition. Now, on this right side, they have this extroverted feeling and extroverted sensing, which means they love to communicate with the people in their environment. They're very communicative in that regard. If they have a liking to people, or if they're in a group environment or in a group setting where they're learning, whether it be educational, whatever, work-related, they are very great socially, compared to a lot of introverts. They can communicate very well. They tend to be exceptionally well through communication, exceptionally good people, good-hearted, and very fun to be around. A lot of great insights they can share through that extroverted feeling and gain through that extroverted feeling. They gain a lot of information through the people around them, through their collectives, through their environments, in their sensory environment. And they take that information and then go into their dungeon, okay, which is in their mind, whether that be them in their room, whatever, and then they process everything, okay, as well as their work, things like that. So you're looking at a situation where you have a type that's very introverted when it comes to processing things and taking in things for themselves, okay? So because they have a lot of great, unique insights and perspectives, but then they also have the ability to share these perspectives and insights with the people around them through their extroverted feeling and through their extroverted sensing. These are very great. A lot of them are very family oriented. A lot of them are very great people to have in a work and group environment. They're very good they actually have a lot of leadership qualities. They can help guide people with amazing insights, with great information, with positive information that can help them grow. They tend to be the types that are, a lot of people say, counselors, teachers. They do have this natural ability within them. People like Oprah. Oprah is an INFJ, from my perspective, okay? Where she has the ability to communicate and connect with her audience so much on such a deep level where you think, like, how's this lady an introvert? But what you don't see is she spends a lot of time, I would guess, okay, processing all this information and organizing things in a way that is very effective for her overall mission. The overall mission is very important to the INFJ because their extroverted feeling is a strong part of their personality. And their extroverted feeling has to be connected to something that's helping them and people around them grow. It's almost like they want to be on a ship or a plane that is constantly moving to a better destination, and they want to bring people along on that ride. But they're not going to do it by just saying, hey, everybody, come with me. Let me motivate you today again. No, they're going to do it in a way that's very logical, in a way where it is a system, something bigger than them. If INFJs put their energy toward something bigger than them, they'll become unstoppable because they'll continue to take in all this information and have new intuitive creative ideas to help people around them with that extroverted feeling. And then they'll be able to take in that information and then process it and see what works, what doesn't work, where to put this, where to put that, to continue to help people even more, and to continue to have these experiences with people through that extroverted sensing, to then bring in even more information for their intuition. So it's because it's a process of using their external environment, the people around them, the people, places, and things around them, to create better and better things for those people. It can be that kind of loop. They're very effective in that regard. When they're passionate, when they have their minds focused, you can't stop them. They're great communicators, very good-hearted, very friendly, not very troublesome. One big thing for them is to help them is that you can be in your own world a lot as an INFJ. You got to remember, it's such a rare type. It's very hard to connect with your outer world because you're in your mental world. You have that introverted intuition. You're making sense of these person, places, and things around you. These different shapes, different colors. This is what INFJs are very good at. They're very aesthetic in that regard. Very good at noticing where things fit, where things connect with that extroverted feeling. They can literally feel the things around them, the colors, the shapes. So with that being said, it's important that they remain grounded by making sure to be around people, not just because it makes them feel good. And that's where they have to balance the extroverted thinking, which for them is their seventh function out of the 8, which means it's very low in terms of efficiency, in terms of recognizing who's good for you on a logical level, not just on how I feel and, oh, this person's around me. Another big thing is introverted feeling is a little bit of a low function as well. It's their 6th function. So when it comes to how they feel, a lot of the time, they don't really know. A lot of the time they have to bounce how they feel off of their environment. Like, is everyone okay? Are the kids okay? Are my friends okay? Is the job okay? Well, then I'm okay, right? But a lot of the time they do need to spend that time to say, look, man, I want to make myself feel good today. I want to relax for myself. That's very important for INFJs because INFJs are such a building block in their environments wherever they assert themselves that it's important that they keep themselves grounded because a lot of people need them to stay grounded. And they take that obligation very serious. INFJs carry themselves with a lot of dignity and a lot of respect. And they have a great, almost like fatherly, motherly vibe. It's almost like when you get really cool with an INFJ, they can very easily feel like family because they carry themselves in a way that's very family oriented and they really want the best for the group. You know what I mean? They really do. Because a part of themselves is attached to the group, attached to how well the group does. And because of that, they're very awesome people and very selfless in that regard. So as I said, INFJs have a bunch of insights. They're very intelligent, very brilliant, very fun when they're in their relaxed zone. Anybody that knows an INFJ, I'm sure they'll tell you they're great group of people to have. And the important thing for INFJs, in my opinion, is to continue to learn, value the logic of their outside world as best as they can, and essentially just continue to bring great positive energy and insight into the world because we need you. So with that being said, I hope you learned a lot. And shout out to all the INFJs. Got more info coming soon. We'll talk soon. Bye.